Okay, so quick update. Tomorrow is my last day at work. You guys know I got laid off. So I actually purchased a cake to celebrate. I'm gonna bring it to work tomorrow, a layoff cake, and we'll see how that goes. Stay tuned. Got laid off from UPS. First cutting the layoff cake.
You know what? You don't worry about layoff when you got other plans.
You know that's what
Yeah, put all your eggs in one basket. Keep on.
you gotta celebrate your life. You gotta romanticize your life. You gotta be the main character. Put a finger down if you work at UPS and you just got laid off because the company's starting to go under because Amazon is a superpower that's gonna.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gag with Geach. I am your boy Geach. And yeah, y'all, these layoffs across the country is going bananas right now. It just seems like everybody is laying off. In this video, we are going to focus on UPS doing a mass layoff of about 48,000 employees. As you've seen, the last lady, she took her whole company or the people that she worked with inside UPS. She took them a laid off cake to celebrate being laid off, because I guess sometimes you got to turn a negative situation into something positive. Then she took everybody some sweet treats and, just to celebrate their last day getting laid off. Because, when it's out of your control, there's nothing you can do but keep it moving. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the rest of these clips.
UPS has announced that it'll be cutting 20,000 jobs this year because of cost-cutting measures, because of fewer deliveries from Amazon. Layoffs will impact about 4% of its workforce. Now, you want to know why there are fewer deliveries from Amazon? Because people are purchasing less right now because the economy's not as great. And also, there are fewer imports coming into America because of tariffs and higher costs. This move, according to CBS News, is part of UPS's plan to consolidate its facilities and workforce. It'll close about 73 buildings as well by the end of June 2025. But in today's regulatory filing, UPS said, quote, the cuts are in connection with our anticipation of lower volumes from our largest company. And as a result of this consolidation plan, UPS is expected to save more than $3.5 billion in revenue just this year. We'll see what happens next, but know that cost cuts.
Because it's always about the money. It's always about the money. And when it comes to these companies' profits, they always going to let you go first. You always going to be the first one to go, the employees. So, because you have to realize as employees, we are not assets to the companies. We're actually liability. Because anything that takes money from you is a liability. And being that they have to pay you a salary or hourly, or they have to pay you some type of wage, you are a liability. So you're always going to be the first one to go.
Coming for UPS, job cuts are coming. Spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack, link to my bio, so subscribe for free and follow along for all the news you need to know.
UPS just said they're laying off 48,000. So to the but that says, what do? I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to do. And that ballroom is paying off, isn't it?
Yeah, we are under attack. Have you not noticed that corporations are currently laying off thousands of people? But they just had years of record-breaking profits. We need to go back to small business. Stop buying from these retailers. I don't care if we have to spend extra money, because at this point, they're literally not giving us jobs. They're fighting against us having literal safety nets. And what is the purpose here? What's the point? They're literally breaking us, firing us, leaving us with no options. Why are we still supporting them? Stop supporting corporations. Go back to small business.
Now, I want to pause from the clips and read this article here from Newsweek. It says the United Parcel Service, or the UPS, on Tuesday said it had cut 48,000 positions in the first 9 months of 2025. The Atlanta-based company said the reductions comprised 14,000 roles primarily in management, alongside around 34,000 cuts within its operational workforce, or basically the employees involved in its day-to-day logistics and delivery services. When contacted for comments, UPS directed Newsweek to Tuesday's release and emphasized that the 48,000 cuts had already occurred. UPS said the layoffs were part of the broader efforts to cut costs and reshape the company to better adapt to shifting market dynamics, as executives face pressure to stem a long-term decline in the share price, which has fallen by more than 20% this year. See, it's always about that bottom line. They're always going to get rid of the employees first. The layoffs revealed on Tuesday have exceeded the reduction UPS announced earlier this year. In April, UPS said it would cut 20,000 jobs and shutter 73 buildings, citing a highly uncertain trading environment and its ongoing plan to reduce business with Amazon by 50% by the second half of 2025.
Told us that the Amazon stuff was no more. Even some of the warehouse workers told me that the supervisor said that work was going to slow down. Hours were going to be cut. People were going to get laid off. Well, I've been patiently waiting. Yeah, I don't want work to slow down. I don't want anyone to go back to the warehouse. But lay people off? Motherfucker, you need to hire more people. This fucking shit right here, it's not even mine. This section right here belongs to another driver. Look, I'm not complaining. But damn, if we're gonna lay people off, how much work can you give to one guy? We're gonna go from 12-hour shifts to 14-hour shifts? That's crazy. I don't have a problem with work, but damn, 12 hours every single day after they said it was gonna slow down? I think that was a lie, man. I'm working more now than ever.
UPS has just cut 48,000 jobs. This is 2.5 more jobs than they said that they would cut earlier this year in May. And it happens right at the same time that Amazon formally announces that it's laying off 30,000 people. We haven't even hit November yet, but these large companies are cutting workers left and right. And the crazy thing is, they're about to go on their pre-holiday hiring spree. Now, UPS has been struggling in large part because it has had a reduction in Amazon shipments. And so UPS is desperately trying to save money now that it does a lot less business with Amazon.
As he mentioned in this clip, the Amazon layoffs, I did a video on Amazon for layoffs as well. So if you're interested, make sure you check out the Amazon layoffs video.
Either way, right now, all of these massive job cuts are really bad news for the economy and for the job market. Right now, hiring in the United States is the weakest since the 2009 Great Recession. So unfortunately, a lot of people who've just been told that they've lost their jobs will struggle to find another one. To UPS and Amazon for performing these mass layoffs right at the end of the year. You just made the D3 List, a podcast about dumb, desperate, diabolical business decisions.
Shut down its innovation center. Hundreds of Georgia jobs gone. You know, I took notes. Let's talk about it. General Motors just confirmed it's closing its Roswell-based innovation center, and more than 300 employees are losing their jobs by the end of the year. The center originally opened in 2013 as a part of a $26 million investment to bring over 1,000 high-tech jobs to Georgia, but it's now shutting its doors as GM redefines its site strategy. Translation, they're consolidating, moving technical teams into a few central hub locations for what they call better collaboration. About 325 jobs will be cut, while others may go remote or relocate to other facilities. GM says some workers with specialized skills could be transferred, but not everyone will get that offer. All affected employees are being offered severance, but still, this marks the end of a big tech era promise in Georgia that once symbolized innovation and job growth. Closures like these are becoming common. We're going to see more of them. Of course, this is due to automation and AI. I have more to say, but I signed an NDA on an AI project, so I've pretty much said all I could say on my page about this, but let me know what y'all think. Fair or foul, put it in the comments. Oh, and I forgot to tell y'all, UPS year-to-date has laid off 48,000 workers. Their goal for the year was 20,000. So I'm not sure how they're getting away with this extra 28,000, but that's what they're doing. Now, mind you, they just announced $1.3 billion in profits. Okay. All right. Well, anyway. Fair or foul, put it in the comments.
UPS buyouts and layoffs are coming. They're offering $1,800 per year that you work there. That's it. And many of the videos on social media are stating you're worth way more than that. But are you? What's the reality? They're gonna get rid of 22,000 of you, regardless of what you say. The union is not going to be able to do anything. The layoffs are coming. how's your 10, 20 years of UPS transferable in skill? Worst job market we've had. AI is taking all the jobs, and you want to hold on to. I understand your sweat equity is super high. It's a tough job, but are your skills transferable? That's the only question. And every other position driving like a UPS style job pays nowhere near that. You can see the writing on the wall.
Breaking news. UPS is announcing 34,000 jobs are being cut. Yep, another mass layoff. We just had news that Amazon is planning to lay off 30,000 people. 14,000 of those people were let go today. And now we have UPS announcing 34,000 jobs. A lot of these jobs are in their corporate and in their operational roles. We're about to enter into the holiday seasons. And every year during the holiday seasons, these companies look to cut people. This is because traditionally, the end of the fourth quarter is usually a slow time for businesses. So in order to account for the loss in revenue, they cut expenses, which is generally people. Now, all of these companies are looking at AI and automation as a reason for cutting headcounts, but sometimes it's also to do with just economic uncertainty, which is what UPS said. They said that we are in an uncertain economy. They don't know what things are going to look like. And the executives are under pressure because their stock price has been going down. So if you're at a large company, you should just anticipate that your company is going to do some sort of layoffs. In the past week, we've heard about Amazon, Target, Paramount, and now UPS. Happy holidays.
What can Brown do for you? Well, apparently what they can do is lay off 48,000 people year to date. So that's right, 48,000 people have been laid off from UPS this year. 34,000 of them from the operational part of the company, another 14,000 that are in managerial roles. And this is far above the estimated and planned 20,000 employees that they had projected to lay off at the start of the year. And they are linking these layoffs to a downturn in volume from their largest customer, Amazon. For Q3, Amazon was down 21% in volume for UPS. Now, this was above the 13% that they were already trailing for the first half of the year. With these cuts, the CEO is estimating that this will be UPS's most efficient holiday season. And they, of course, threw in that they are utilizing AI to help with logistics and custom evaluations to help product flow.
Breaking news. UPS lays off 20,000 workers, blames tariffs and economic strain. In a major blow to the American workforce, UPS has announced the layoff of 20,000 employees, citing rising operational costs triggered by mounting tariffs and global economic pressures. The logistics giant pointed to increased costs from U.S. import tariffs and retaliatory trade measures from China and Europe as key drivers behind the mass layoffs. Tariff-related expenses have skyrocketed, a senior UPS executive stated, forcing us to restructure in order to stay financially viable. Industry analysts say the layoffs highlight how trade wars and protectionist policies are now directly hitting American jobs. UPS, heavily reliant on international shipping and supply chains, is among the first major companies to publicly tie layoffs to tariff-related losses. Labor advocates are blasting the move as avoidable damage caused by reckless trade policies, warning this could be just the beginning as more companies feel the squeeze.
All right, everybody, that's all we have for this episode of these UPS layoffs. Once again, I appreciate y'all coming by and gagging with Geechee again. If you like this episode, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you would like to. Drop me some comments down in the comments. Let me know what you thought about this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Geech out.